Hey guys, Nathan here from NBJ Joinery. In this video I'm going to be doing my best to show you how I made this really cool bespoke modern built-in bedroom which has a custom made bed and headboard, a really good wardrobe area, desk area with a show back floating TV. It has loads of LED lights, some internal drawers, loads of cool other features that we're going to be going through. So yeah, let's see how I made this thing. Now I do want to say that this bedroom was both supplied and designed by Premiercrafts, which are a great company in the northeast. I'll have a link to their website below. But yeah, so I'm fitting it, they designed and supplied it, and I want to make sure they get the credit that they deserve on this job. So the first thing I do, as you can see, is actually assemble the corpus. These actually have to come in flat packed so they actually get through the house, up the stairs and into the room, since they wouldn't fit if they came fully built. So yeah, just getting all the faces flush, screwing it together, and then put them back on. The sides of the wardrobe do actually come a little bit deeper than the top and bottom to make a void for pipes and wires, but I actually cut this off in this instance to make more space. Since the desk area was a little bit tight, I wanted to get the wardrobe as far back to the wall as possible. And just like that, we have another wardrobe built and ready to go. It's time for probably the most important and also a bit annoying part of the job, and time consuming for sure, is levelling up the wardrobes, making sure the level goes the top, the sides, the bottom, from inside, top, bottom, every single aspect needs to be perfectly level, because if they're not, then the doors aren't going to shut properly, they're not going to look right, the fillers aren't going to fit right, so it's absolutely crucial that you get the wardrobe exactly level all the way around. Now the best way to join the two individual wardrobes together is to use clamps and screws, and I use a clamp moving way upwards, screw it together and making it like one big solid piece. Now even though this is two separate wardrobes, we're kind of splitting it up into four wardrobes in a way by putting two dividers in, and we're going to split it into four open areas. One of the first really cool features of this wardrobe is on the left hand section. You can see we're building this internal drawers area, and this is so when you open the wardrobe door, there'll be some drawers inside that you can use to store all your bits and pieces without having to have them on display. And now I'm just quickly measuring for the hanging rails. So at this point we wouldn't normally be hanging any doors whatsoever. However, because there is a corner area in this wardrobe, to the desk area you can call it, we actually have to put this top of what we call the stable door on, so that we can then put the bottom panel on, so that we can get it all in the right place. So you can see that I'm putting the bottom panel on there now. Again, it has to be so perfectly level, otherwise the space between the doors just aren't going to look right. We want the flow, we want it like one solid line, not wavy, not going thick and thin. And then we can use some brackets to actually push the bottom panel out of the wardrobe a bit, flush with the door, so that it all sits nice and right. So the idea is it looks like one solid door. And then we can move swiftly along into the desk area, where I'm going to be putting a set of drawers in knee space and another set of drawers. Normally would work from the corner outwards, however, because we have that door area there and I want the spacing to be just right, I'm actually sort of from the right and work my way to the left. So getting them roughly in place, not perfectly in place yet, just so I can get it all assembled together. As you can see, I'm putting my knee space drawer in there now, screwing it together, making it one solid piece, because it's a lot easier to level it all together than it is all separately. Now that it's all level, I can actually start putting in my corner piece. This will connect from the bottom panel of the stable door into the desk area, giving it a seamless finish and making it look like it was always just there, part of the wardrobe. And now I can put on the very first end panel of the job. This is the base end panel, and this will go on the side of the end of the units, just so when you're looking from the side, the colour wraps all the way around. It looks really tidy and you don't see the side of the drawers. And to make it a wrap for the end of the day, just so the customer can have a look at it, I'm actually going to get the worktop out, put it roughly in place, and let the customer sit overnight and kind of get a full idea of how the room's looking. But yeah, you can see we've made pretty good progress for day one. Okay, on to day number 2. First thing I'm going to do, just for a nice easy start, is put on the faces of the internal drawers, get them all sorted out. It's a pretty simple job, just measuring up, put the brackets on, slide them in, do a few adjustments here and there, but yeah, nice easy start for the day. Okay, so now we can scribe in the worktop. So I like to do this by just putting it roughly in place, measuring left and right the overhang, make sure it's the same, scribe out how much I want. In this instance, you actually see I'm cutting the architrave a bit, just so it slides inside, make life easier. And I want about a 10mm overhang on the end panel, just so it looks right. As you can see, we've got a pretty nice clean scribe there. Okay, so it's time to do the show back underneath the knee space. This is a really simple case of just making a frame, screwing it in, and the screws will be hidden by the internal side panels. You'll see them in a second. Yep, there we are. So they're just going to be scribed in place, the same overhang as the other end panel, 23mm I do, which is just past where the door sits. It just means when you're looking from the side, you don't see any of the drawer fronts on either sides, and it's just the same sticking out just like a millimeter or so. It just looks really, really tidy. It's pretty much the same logic with the base end panel as it is with the tall end panel. I like to cut mine to the ceiling. Some people do it to the top of the carcass and wrap the ceiling filler around. I just think this way it looks much tidier and neater. So I'll just get it in place, leveled up. Do a rough scribe first, get it roughly in place. I can put it back up, get it leveled up again, and then I can do my final scribe, mark it up, really precise this time. And then when I cut it, I know it'll fit absolutely perfect. So I'm just going to take it off now, cut it, as you can see, and then this time when I put it up, yeah, you can see I've put a pretty nice, tight scribe. It's now time for what's arguably the most difficult part of the job, which is the ceiling scribe. I don't actually find it that difficult now that I've got a really good setup. I use a jig that allows me to temporarily attach it to the top of the wardrobes, and then use an offcut, the marking scribe, cut it, and it's pretty much perfect 9 times out of 10 straight away. I'm just going to push that back a bit so that the cornice can overhang. I like to have the ceiling filler sitting behind the cornice a bit, so when the plinth goes on, it just matches nicely in the style. You can see the overhang of the cornice is the same as the end panel, 23mm, so when the doors go on, it just looks really, really smart. And there's the plinth there going on. So this is sat back underneath the carcass, so it just means when you're looking at it, the ceiling filler and the plinth are both set back roughly the same amount, and it just looks right. It needs to look uniform and symmetrical. Get a corner piece, just go in there, and you see they're just clipped on little clips, like little black things. They just go push onto the feet. They stay in place. They are removable for any other reasons, but yeah, to just stay in place. Very, very last filler now. In the corner, just get it on. 23mm past as usual, like an L-shaped filler. Scribe into the shape of the wall, cut it with the jigsaw, screw it in place. Okay, so now I just quickly throw on my hanging rails, hang the doors, just get them on as level as possible. I want the gaps between the doors to be really consistent, the height of the doors to be consistent, and then exactly the same thing on the drawers really. Working my way from the top to the bottom this time. I leave a 5mm space between each drawer. I want the space down the side, between the drawers, everything to be really consistent, so when I step back and look at them, it all looks really uniform, and like nothing's like a bit tight here, then a bit big there. You want the same spacing all the way around. Instead I didn't do the middle drawer because it didn't actually fit quite right, so I got Premiercrafts to remake that. I had that the very next day, so yeah, that was all done. And the very last thing for the day was just getting the show back up on these jacks, just to give the customer an idea of what it's going to look like. And yeah, that was the end of day 2, so you know, pretty good progress. Got a lot of decor done, a lot of scribing done, so it's on to the bed tomorrow. Day 3, and we can finally get the show back up on the wall in its permanent position. I'm just marking the wall for the framework, which will be screwed into the studs, since this is a hollow wall, and it's just a simple case of screwing the show back into it in place, into those studs, and then the LED strip goes around, TV goes on, and yeah, job's a good one. So now it's time for the puppies. What I think is the best part of the bedroom is the actual physical bed itself. So you can see we've got a really massive, thick timber base, and this is what our bed is kind of sitting on to give that floating effect. So you can see I'm getting that really leveled up. And now this wood I'm putting on is actually mirror wood. So when you're looking under the bed, it looks like a mirror, and then it'll give that floating effect. So the carpet will look like it's just flowing through under the actual bed itself. And then you can see the bed itself, actually, it's 2 boxes with a divider in each one for strength. And this is what our bed tops will sit on to make our bed base. And of course, we of course have oak on the side, we have slatters, white panels, and yeah, give a good jumping test. LEDs on and off, looks really good. And now to be fair, it would look as it is. The headboard looks perfectly fine, but because we like to go with a little bit extra, Premier also designed this topper headboard, which goes on top of the lower one. Not quite as steep, just to give it like a step effect. And this we're going with brackets at the top and some clear OB1 down the side to stick it in place. This stuff's really strong. I'm very confident it'll never come off. It'll take the wall with it if you try to. So yeah, that's on really strong. I do make a clamping system to keep the sides down where the OB1 goes off. And then again, because we're a little bit extra, we couldn't just put the shelves to the side of the headboard. We actually ended up cutting into the headboard and making the shelf sit inside of a notch to make it really strong and looks really good. And of course, now it's finally time to put on our handles. The customer chose these really modern brass square knobs. They're really cool, minimalist, but look really good. And then for the final, semi-final I guess job is tidying up, giving a clean up. You saw there I had some oak cover caps. These go inside just to cover your screw heads. I use a PVC cleaner with a microfiber cloth, getting all the nooks and crannies before I do the very final job, which is of course sealing up all of the joints and all the scribes to the wall and floor and ceiling. A lot of people don't like these caulk, especially when it's a good scribe. I do, just because houses settle, furniture settles, sometimes things move, and by caulking it in, all it doing is preventing from any gaps opening up and such. And there we go, that's all there really is to it. Quite a lot of work involved, as you can see. All the stuff's really bespoke, handmade, made to measure for this exact room, for the exact purpose. Nothing was off the shelf. You know, the doors, the drawers, the cabinetry, the bed, everything completely bespoke made. And it shows, it fits in perfectly. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, maybe even learned a few things, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.